reporting for technology program Quick, as well as having written a first novel for Elise. So, where are we going to start off?
Graceful swivel.
I can't do it. I think the first question will be, what do you mean tech?
What do you mean technology?
Is that what
My brother, actually, like so many people of my generation, girls of my generation, 1984 in the league on the BBC Micro. And basically my brother got the computer and the game, and I, for his birthday, and I got a Barbie doll single.
Hey, Scott, did you always have to wait second player? Always.
No, I had to wait until he was out of the house because he didn't want to be playing with his computer. And then I saw him actually coding as well, and I loved watching him get the computer to talk to him. And one of his first things to code was 10, print, maths is awesome, 20, go to 10. So, and as his little sister, I was kind of like, that's not true. Math is not awesome. And see it printed out infinity times. So consequently, my first line of code was 10, print, math is rubbish. So, so basically, in 1984, BBC Micro Elite. David Braben, like so many people that I knew in the tech industry, was the inspiration for so many people's tech careers. It's got a lot to answer for.
Absolutely.
I know I can speak for myself when I say way too many hours spent into release trees.
Yeah, or at the time as well. Back in 1984, I kind of feel sorry for kids because then I never understood from the wonder of going from not having computers to having computers. And we had this box on the table, and inside it there was this infinite kind of universe, galaxy. And it was like being inside the door of the TARDIS or something. How is this even possible? Oh, is this... Stop the echo stop, which is good. You can still hear me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it was amazing just to see the wonder of this thing. I mean, my cats sometimes when there's football on the TV and the football goes off the side of the TV screen, the cats are kind of like, oh. And it was a bit like that. It was just like, how is this possible? So yeah, it was all it was a pretty mind-opening experience.
That whole sort of universe in a box thing, I can relate as much as I used to look at a single floppy disk and think he's written an entire universe on this disk.
Exactly.
32K, remember?
Yeah.
Playing the cheap seats.
You could get, I think it's something like, I did this talk recently, you could get 64 million copies of the original Elite on your average smartphone today.
I can believe it. It's scary. It really is crazy.
Was it Infinite Universe?
No, it was fractal. It was a fractal algorithm.
Procedurally generated, I think you'll find.
That's the same difference.
Somebody had to say that.
No, not quite actually, because fractal is completely, but he's known as the, David Braben is known as the creator. And I interviewed him when they were doing the Kickstarter for Elite Dangerous. And they used to have beauty parades for the star systems that were created. So he would go through these procedurally generated, and it wasn't allowed to be completely chaos. It was like they would then go and edit them, and obviously the whole idea of random number generator kind of theory is sometimes the names of star systems were rude.
Those are the ones that keep.
Sorry, that was not all, not the exception.
Yeah.
So really, someone shared about No Man's Sky. It was sort of No Man's Sky before No Man's Sky.
Say again, sorry?
It was sort of No Man's Sky before No Man's Sky in many ways.
Except for it had a point.
Story and missions.
Yeah. No, it is, and what you've got to understand as well is that until these two guys, Ian Bell and David Braben, until they came up with this idea, we were stuck in kind of like the coin drop kind of gaming era. You 3 lives, put your coin in, and the whole point is you're on a linear journey to a high score, and when it's over, you start again. And this was the first time that really we had the open world kind of sandbox environment where you didn't even have to play the game if you didn't want to. You could just fly around. and just see what you see. And actually, I now, one of the screenshots I do when I talk about the sort of like the way that games have changed over the years is you put the original Elite, kind of like your classic shot of the Coriolis space station and the Cobra Mark III going into it, and then you put beside it the today Elite Dangerous, same screenshot. In my mind, in 1984, it looked like it does in Elite Dangerous.
It still does.
Yeah, yeah, in the heart. So yeah, it's also a lot easier to dock in Elite Dangerous. Let me tell you that.
I remember the first time I played that game, I removed all the extra shields you get, and then I tried to dock into a planet, and I just exploded. I'm through.
I think everyone has
I need more cards on room.
Okay, well, actually, it was funny because you were talking about children today and smartphones. One of the curiosities was, without giving anyone's age away, a lot of us grew up in a sort of time before the net.
Yeah, I'm 48. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was born in 1968, well before
I'm well
the time.
I'm not
I want to point out there's a difference in the internet and the World Wide Web.
And indeed there is.
Yes.
But I was going to say that when you look at kids growing up today, to how we grew up then, how do you think it's changed with regards to sort of their approach to technology?
The interesting thing about the World Wide Web and what it's given to kids today is an infinite world of knowledge and information. If I was rubbish at school, I hated school, I didn't get, and I went to very, very old-fashioned kind of like girls' grammar school, where I had to learn by rote, history was about remembering names and dates and no context or anything like that. And if we'd had the internet today, the internet as we have it today, if we'd had it back when I was a kid, I probably would have been much more academically inclined, because there's so many inspiring things, learning tools. The problem, I think, for kids today is they're in this kind of like weird period of history where their parents are still quite afraid of the internet. And so they don't really understand, they only see the bad things, because the trouble is, the newspapers and the, sort of like the news channels, they only report the bad things. It's like that brilliant Bill Hicks sketch about taking acid, where he says, you don't hear, on the news today, a young man took acid and realised all matter was just energy vibrating at a certain frequency. We are all the imagination of ourselves and it's all just a dream. Here's Ed with the news. And it's just like that. It's like parents are terrified of the internet. I was invited to go and speak at a girls' school to sort of like 14-year-old girls, and to speak about social media. And as I walked in, the headmaster said to me, "Of course, you're going to put the fear of God into them, aren't you?" You don't know me very well, do you? But it's an amazing thing. And what I say to parents is, if you are afraid of the internet and what your children are doing on the internet, treat it like crossing the road. It's dangerous to cross the road. We don't make our kids live within the square block that our house is so that they never have to cross the road. What we do is we cross the road with them. And we teach them skills that will help them cross the road safely. And when we have seen them demonstrate the ability to cross the road, we let them do it on their own. And I think that's, and it's a tremendous opportunity for parents to actually learn about the internet through their children. And it can be a really good kind of like enriching experience for everybody. There's also social media is kind of, I see kids today on the train. When I was on the train on the way here,
Is there anyone not playing Pokemon Go is the question.
I have a Windows phone.
There we go.
I trick them out. When you see kids go,
Yeah, basically play Pokemon. Autism people play Pokemon.
you should be watching me go.
Yeah.
But no, I saw these two girls and they weren't talking to each other. They were there with their smartphones going.
Oh God. When my niece does that, I want to play with you.
Seriously. I want to poke her in the mon.
Oh, sorry, I'm the only one fighting.
But the social media, there's an amazing connectivity and connection that people have around the world now because of it, and it allows you to experience. I've got friends from all around the world, and we get together regularly on TeamSpeak, which shoot each other in the face with large projectile weapons and grab their doors open. And you understand other people's cultures and understand other people's kind of like lifestyles, and I think that's a really kind of beneficial thing.
I think it's a generation of people that don't experience it. I think a lot of normal people that don't game finally catching up
Yeah.
on what we've had for the last 20 years.
Yeah, no, true. But the downside is, I mean, I know everyone wants to talk, maybe not here, but people always want to talk about, you know, how bad cyberbullying is, and you know, and there are some really bad things that go on. But there's, I haven't even started yet, Mike.
Don't worry, Mike. I'm all over it.
Sorry?
It doesn't affect most of us, part of the problem.
No, it doesn't affect most people, and it's the stuff that that is, again, it's talked about in the news is all the bad stuff. But then on the good side too, or on the back. So my niece, one of my nieces, went through some emotional problems, and my brother pointed something out to me, and that is when we were kids. If you were going through a bad time, and she's not being bullied, or you know, she's got loads of really good friends, but she was going through some sort of like self-image issues. And when she went home and closed her bedroom door, that didn't stop because she was getting texts from her friends saying, "Are you okay?" You know, and it was a very supportive kind of network of community. But what my brother pointed out to me was the fact that there's no turning off from it, for good or for bad, because they carry the internet around in their pockets, and you just don't get any respite. And you said, when we were kids, you'd go out the front door and the world is there, and you deal with the shit that you've got to deal with, and you have the good times you've got to deal with. But when you go home, you kind of shut the door and you can kind of like defrag, power down, and you know, and then the next day you're ready to start again.
It's conversation of you need to disengage from the internet. It's
Yeah.
not just for kids.
Yeah.
It's discipline. Switch off your phones.
Point out is before we had cyberbullying, we had bullying.
Yes.
And I think, at least I feel, before we had cyberbullying, bullying wasn't really that big a deal.
No, but the trouble
only through the exposure did we really
with
learn
cyberbullying
what it is.
is the anonymity. The trouble with the reason that bullying escalates in a cyber environment is the anonymity, and people are a lot meaner when they don't have to look you in the eye and deal with the
The
consequences.
greatest shitcock theory of the internet.
The gift.
Penny
Greater
arcade.
internet rock theory.
Yeah, that's right.
Cyberbullying of random people, and the cyberbullying that actually matters is when it's the social cycle that they're in already at school.
Yeah.
Follows them.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because some random twat on the internet saying to you, when it's your own social circle following you home.
Do you have a question? Hang on a second, guys.
It's anarchy.
Hopefully we can track it better and address it better.
Yeah, but I think that again that's a generation down. You know, when more parents understand the internet and understand the controls that they can get, then you're right. I think, but I think we're in this, like I said, we're in this weird kind of generational kind of gap where kids know so much about the internet and there's so much to gain, but their parents really don't understand it, and so they're fearful of it.
I do think this is the last generation.
Yes, question.
Well, I'm a YouTube content creator. We get accused of bullying all the time.
You're a YouTube, what, sorry?
YouTube content creator.
Oh, right, yeah.
Basically, we'll make a video response to somebody, right? It could be anybody. And if we've got a bigger subscriber base than them, some of our subscribers, always a minority, will go over and downvote their videos, leave comments. Sometimes it's constructive criticism, other times it will be nasty comments. And we'll get accused of bullying, like we're accused of sending these people over to their videos just because we linked the video in the description. The thing is, we had to link the video for context, and YouTube removed the response button, which they had years ago. It's gone now. And the thing is, they can't prove a bullying because most of us never say go over there, so they just assume that we're somehow doing that. That's the thing.
The thing is, though, people can turn off comments. You know, it comes back to what you were saying. We need to learn how to step away. Because some people will always be idiots. And some people will always be assholes. And that happens in real life as well.
Exactly.
And the benefit with the internet is you can turn them off.
I feel as if
Precisely.
people become
So in real life, people are like a wanker. And everybody knows that. But on the internet, people think that they have to deal with them, and you don't.
I also feel like people have become so paranoid about it that they will see anything like that as bullying, even if the person never said it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something else.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, if we can, ladies and gentlemen, if we can move on. I suppose the question I have for you, like bearing in mind what you've just said about your past with Elite and your past with programming, would you call yourself a geek?
Yeah. Why not?
Is it a word that has any sort of association for you? Or?
No, do you know what I wouldn't call myself? Is a girl geek.
Okay.
Good job.
Because I have absolutely no need to have any part of my life defined by my ovaries. I get asked all the time, what's your female perspective on technology?
No, what's your nerd perspective on technology?
Do I need a perspective defined by my ability? Pretty much the only difference between men and women is I've got ovaries and a womb. And it works in reverse. And yeah, no, I'm being transphobic. But no, I know. I was interviewed by a guy once who actually said something which was weirdly kind of like it was gender biased, but in an opposite way. He said to me, "Did it bother you when you were growing up that all the games, football games, shooter games, were all aimed at boys?" I was like, why is that aimed at boys? I love shooting people in the face with large projectile weapons. I hate football games, I have to say, but that's not because I haven't got a win. It's because football games are crap. But no, I hate labels and I hate boxes, because all labels and boxes do is they allow other people to make assumptions about you. So there are many labels that people would like me to apply to myself, and many soapboxes that people would like me to stand on, and I vehemently resist any of that, because do you know who I am? I'm Kate. I'm me. I'm the person. I'm the sum total of my life experiences, and that is the overriding factor of what my opinions are defined by. Hand up, yes.
What would you say would be your favourite video game?
At the moment, I really want to say Elite Dangerous, but
You're allowed to.
well, no, I like Elite. I really enjoy Elite Dangerous, and I have a great crew of people that I play Elite Dangerous with. But for me, the game is too much of a grind. I'm kind of like, I don't really want to have to grind repetitive tasks in order to gain. I want it to have more narrative. I want it to have a richer, deeper narrative. I love playing with my friends, but what we do is we don't do the game. We get into sidewinders and fly them at each other without shields in a space station airlock.
Your favourite game is what you play with your friends?
Yeah, it's sandboxing. It's emergent gameplay, they call it, right? It's taking the mechanics of the game, taking the environment of the game, and making something fun. Our latest invention was Slot My Sidewinder, one of our latest inventions, where I basically get into a heavily armoured Sidewinder, turn flight assist off, sit just outside the airlock, and people get their largest, most heavily armed, heavily shielded ship and fly at me at great speed and see if they can knock me through the airlock. It was a lot of fun. I also find it very difficult to invent games in Elite Dangerous that don't have vaguely rude sounding names.
What you're saying is Elite Dangerous, Rocket League.
Yeah, elements of it, but there's different things as well that you can do. But yeah, I really want to say Elite Dangerous to that, but actually probably the game that I have enjoyed playing with my friends most recently is GTA 5. Again, because we just get stupid. And we have family trips up the mountain where we go and steal the most ridiculous vehicle possible.
Stupidity is
Yeah, bubble dropping. Bubble dropping was a game that actually I believe Mad Dog invented. Our friend called Bubble. Get him in a mini sub, pick up the cargo bob, pick up the mini sub, then we pick a small body of water, perhaps a swimming pool or a pond, and we go 5,000 metres in the air, drop Bubble in the mini sub and see if he hits the water.
You really
That's
see
a lot of fun.
You try to make him miss them.
It's not hard to make him miss them. Like a puddle from 5,000 feet. Pretty much he's not going to hit it. So, but yeah, I like changing games. I like changing things up. I get bored really quickly. So, I did download the No Man's Sky last weekend and I just couldn't. Okay. Any game that requires me to grind before I can even take off. Yeah, in 2 weeks it's really sort of fun.
No Man's Cake demo.
Yeah. Right. I'm really looking forward to Sea of Thieves though. I played that at E3 this year and I cannot wait. They had a playable area of the world, fully playable, but the world's not complete yet. And it just, if you've got 5 decent friends and some voice comms, Sea of Thieves is going to be a lot of fun.
Can we find 5 decent people in this room though?
Sea of Thieves, yeah, I definitely. But there's no release date for it yet, unfortunately. Sometime in 2017.
Obviously, I have to say, you kind of answered the next one, which is, what do you view yourself as a woman in technology? I'm not even going to go there now.
Yeah, I actually did. I did the guest edit for the British Computer Society's summer kind of like annual this year, and my article, 4-page article, was entitled "I Am Not a Girl Gamer," which goes into my reasons for. It is just such an unhelpful label, and
I've just always encouraged the girls in my life, my nieces, I've always encouraged them to be who they are. They don't need to be anything, they're just them.
I encourage my sister, I just gave my old PC. Whatever.
I feel like the term like girl gamer is used mostly by big name celebrities who drive
yeah, there is an awful lot of, if I label myself as a girl gamer, then perhaps I will get a bit more.
What about Boy Horse Rider? I could have said, well, because it's a girly thing, horse. And I say that because my sister loves the horses.
To be honest, I think your horse is
There's some classic gender bias right there, ladies.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I play chivalry.
But yeah, I find it, again, it comes down to labels, it's like, why would I want to put a label on myself that will make people, and people with, not everybody makes assumptions about when you put a label on something, but there is a certain society where if I call myself a girl gamer, well, some people go, you're a long pumpkin girl, to be fair. But then it's just unnecessary. I'm a gamer. I love gaming, and the fact that I sometimes wear a dress. I know a lot of boys who
say that anymore.
on the weekends.
Okay, so sort of playing recent games. I'm not sure if you're aware things like Overwatch have introduced filters to stop things like Good Game Easy. I'm not sure if you've come across that.
Yeah, there's filters.
I'm okay with that one.
There was one of the kids' kind of like chit-chat environments, and they blocked some words like cum, C-U-M, and then you can't use the word cucumber.
Club Penguin.
It's a real sledgehammer to crack an egg kind of scenario when you start doing word filters. What I think is important is for people to be able to block other people. And this is one of the things. You see people go, these people are being mean to me and saying mean things. I don't think I know a multiplayer online game where you can't mute and block players.
It's a curated experience. You can either sign on and not engage at all.
Yeah.
It's fine. And you can curate by blocks. But even the filters, they're always amusing. One of my good friends is a girl.
Some of my best friends are girls.
She's one of the few people I know that uses the swearing filter.
Right.
And we use that to mock her relentlessly by constantly swearing. So she doesn't know anything we're saying, ever.
I want a plug-in for games that turn swear words into even worse words.
Oh yeah.
You just start using binary. You know who's the real.
Whenever the swear filter comes on, automatically it always in my mind translates to the worst possible thing it could be.
Yeah.
I want a plugin that translates all the American slurs to British slurs. Instead of fucking you have bloody.
You are my
Instead of
favourite
cunt you
German.
have ninja.
You are my favourite German.
Yeah.
That's pretty British.
What would you like to ask?
Well, actually, you can't get any more Australian.
Do you just, are you just exercising your arms?
No, I believe the actual name for constantly censoring words and then completely screwing it up, like with cucumber, is the Scunthorpe problem.
Yes, exactly. Scunthorpe problem.
Well, and the example with GGEZ,
Scun, I think. Yeah, it's a well-known Scottish slang.
if you type in GGEZ at the minute, you can get "Mommy says people my age shouldn't suck their thumbs." That's an unusual one. Yeah. It was just a question as to whether it seemed like it seems like a lot of these companies are trying to find an approach that works, and then experimenting with it. Some of them are cringeworthy.
Filtering of any description or censoring of any description on the World Wide Web, I think, is a slippery road to hell and should be avoided at all costs.
I think people just invent new swear words. It's what I mean. People are clever.
Yeah. Well, this is so they decided that they were going to. They did this kind of like the censoring of on ISPs, because I had a really dodgy debate with some. It was the government's advisor to internet youth or something. And no, it was a guy. And it was, but it was such a long time ago. Honestly, I can't remember his name. But his stance was, he said, we need to block at ISP level. We need to block people being able to go onto hardcore pornography sites, because that is the route to child abuse. Literally, that's what he said.
Don't take away the porn.
So he was.
Take away the porn.
The stance was they're going to block certain words. They're going to block certain words so that people can't search for these things. And the thing is, you don't stop perverts from being perverts. What you do is you drive them underground. You make them use language and code that perhaps then a kid could search for Scunthorpe and find something other than a nice seaside resort that they were expecting at the end of that search. I don't know, is Scunthorpe not the same?
Should we drive all the underground arguments into view?
Yeah.
Or you can make fun of them because they're
Yeah. I would rather know who the bad actors are in my community and be able to point at them and
He's already better.
I'm much worse.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, it's all good. It's just you saying that, it reminded me of one of the at college. They put a filter out that blocked a bunch of biology search work. So students were trying to do their coursework and they couldn't do it because it was legitimate stuff being blocked. At the flip side, I will admit I was making a bit of money on the side moderating an adult chat site, and I could do that at college. So it's sort of swings and roundabouts.
Okay.
It's the proof that it's daft.
I know what I'm googling, mate.
Should have said it was moderation, but it was really moderation.
Yeah, when I say moderation, okay. But it's proof that if you know how to get around it, it doesn't block it, and all it does do is means people who...
It's like DMC, ridiculous. Whoever thought that putting really low-level digital encryption and blocks to stop people genuinely using their music and their digital content that they've purchased, that's never going to stop somebody who wants to pirate your shit. All it's going to do is interfere with the fair use of your shit from people, which is why my book, the books that I've written, an audiobook, one of the deals that I had with my publisher, who feels the same way, is we will never DMC anything. And if you buy my ebook, you can have it on EPUB, you can have it on .mobi, you can have it as a PDF. Because you've bought my book.
Yeah, that's it.
And
I think I just deserve that. It's something that people finding they're locked in. I've been buying movies on Google for the last few years. If I ever decided I want to go with an Apple device, I'm going to be shit out of luck. I've my entire library of movies. I have to watch through Google.
Well, there's a whole argument at the moment boiling about digital legacies. You know, people have got massive music and video collections collected digitally that they've paid hundreds of thousands of pounds for over the course of a lifetime. In the days of vinyl, you used to be able to bequeath that to your loved ones, but where's all that going to go when you die? Which means 100 years from now, we're not going to have any of that old stuff in circulation like we've had. It's a whole different argument and different sort of story about digital entropy.
You don't buy products now, you buy simply
licenses.
A license to it. But also, they've proven with Steam that you can literally provide the service of a pirate and make money with it because people were paying. People were willing to pay for the service because pirates were just more convenient. That was the entire reason piracy, when surged, was it was totally convenient. You could have it on whatever service you want.
It's just basically people will pay for legitimate services as long as they're not annoying.
You play.
If they annoy the fuck out of you, because no, this is too annoying. Nobody wants to be annoyed, but my time is valuable.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement.
Yeah, it sounds like
excellent.
the entire room is in agreement.
The revolution starts here.
It's a legend level trailer.
We've had that for 2 years. We've still had the revolution coming.
And just to finish off sort of on the cliche questions for a panel, if you could give someone one piece of advice about a career in tech, stroke journalism, stroke writing,
Stroking
technology, stroking, yeah, okay.
Make sure you get their permission first. Actually, this is, I'm lucky enough to be invited to speak at schools and universities quite a lot, and one of the pieces of advice that I give to young people who are considering actually setting out on anything in life is throughout your life you will meet people who present themselves as somebody who knows everything there is to know about a subject, and sometimes that will be persuasive and believable, and sometimes not so much. Without exception, every single person that you meet in your professional life is faking it to some extent.
Fake it till you make it.
Faking it to some extent. So, and some to greater extent. And I think it's, if you can, and then if you specifically want to talk about, a media career, or the kind of career that I've gone down, working in the media, print and in television journalism, I have the best frickin' job in the world. I get paid to play with stuff, gadgets and stuff. I'm gonna name drop it again. Last month I went to NASA, Stanford University. Went to CES in January. Just had to turn down a trip to Japan because I was going to Slovakia. But
I'll do it.
we get the most incredible opportunities to play with stuff, and it's incredibly competitive, and a lot of people want to do it. It is really fucking hard work, like proper hard work. I've been freelance since 1995, and I've been through dry spells. I have to be incredibly self-motivated. Alex will tell you, I sometimes will work 14-hour days, 7-day a week, and you have to do it. If you want the next job, especially in freelance, you are only ever as good as your attitude in your last job. So you can create consistently reasonable content, but if your attitude stinks, and people, you get taken the piss out of, you get given way too much work, you're way underfunded, particularly in television, particularly in the BBC, we're massively underfunded, we're expected to do way more than we should be able to do. We have to work incredibly hard, and you have to do it with a big fat smile on your face and get the work done, because if you don't, then there's somebody else waiting just outside those swing doors for you to be like, and then for them to step in. So, yeah.
Some wankers with a golden handshake.
I've never met anybody who's been golden handshake. We're talking like Jeremy Clarkson and stuff. It's like, you've been meant to work for him.
It's going to end badly.
You never know.
He's got the gold finger.
I'd accept the gold finger.
There you go.
Oh.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
Moving swiftly on.
Are you offering mine?
Moving swiftly on. Well, unfortunately, Mercedes doesn't appear to have turned up.
No, I'm so sorry that you got me and not a porn star.
We invited her for her aerospace engineering skills.
Oh, sorry.
Such a racist.
Misogyny in the room is suspected.
We could start sharing
She's awesome as well, actually. And she would have laughed at that joke, so.
Mike, you...
Yes, I can.
Oh, so can I sit down now? Yes. Hey, thank you very much. And by the way, thank you so much for inviting me here today. And it's just hanging out in a group of people this size with diverse opinions and a few good video games is actually, top of the list of the kinds of things that I like to do on the weekend. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.